Hi there, welcome to this video. This video is called Spectator Cuts to Aces, and it uses a deck of cards and a table. So I'm going to cut on down to my chair and I'll see you in a second. Alright, so to do this effect you need a deck of cards and it looks like this. Actually, I forgot to mention we need to remove the jokers from the pack. So we're going to place the jokers here. We have a deck of cards. The spectator can do the effect here. You say, what I want you to do is cut the cards in approximately half. So they cut the cards in half, and they hand you a pack, and they keep a pack for themselves. So this is the spectator's half, this is my half, and I'm going to do this as if I was a spectator first. So you take the cards, and I say, go ahead and count how many you have. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So they actually cut the cards exactly in half just to make sure I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So now the spectator takes their cards and they deal them into two piles, just like this. And while they're doing that, I too deal my section into two piles. We'll do that real quick here, just like this. All right, so we have 4 piles. The spectator cut, spectator counted, they actually cut them exactly in half. We have 4 piles. I say, do me a favor, turn over your first card, so they turn over 1, and they have an ace. I turn over 1, I have an ace. They turn over 1, they have an ace. I turn over 1, and I have an ace. So the spectator cut to all 4 aces. I hope you enjoyed it, and let's get on with the explanation. All right, so here's how you do the spectator cuts to aces effect that I just performed. To do this effect, you need a full deck of cards, and I like to keep the jokers because you're going to see why in a second. So you need a full deck of cards with the aces all together. So you go find the aces, I keep them on the bottom of the pack. The jokers I put anywhere in the deck, it doesn't matter where they are. And as long as you have the aces at the bottom, you can shuffle the cards as long as you don't disturb those aces. So you shuffle the cards, making sure not to disrupt the aces, just like this. And I can shuffle them as many times as I want. I can actually cut the cards as well. And that's why I have the jokers in there, so I can cut the cards. Doesn't matter where they cut. If you accidentally cut in the section of the aces that disrupts them, so maybe you had 3 on top and 1 on the bottom. If you see that you have 1 on the bottom, you just cut the cards one more time, and all 4 aces are now back in the middle of the pack. So you can cut the cards as many times as you want. Cut it to the table if you want, it doesn't matter. Those aces are going to stay clumped together in the deck. So what you're going to do is you say, for this effect, I want you to do all the work to the spectator. But first, I forgot, I need to remove the jokers. So with the deck to yourself, you thumb through, you up jog one of the jokers, and you up jog the second joker. And as you do that, you just find all 4 aces. Towards yourself, you're actually going to cut the cards, so right where the aces are. But you do it nonchalantly. You just say, oh, let's get rid of those. So what I've done is I've cut 2 of the aces to the bottom of the pack and 2 of the aces to the top of the pack. So there's no real heavy sleight of hand there. It's just you go through, you find the 2 jokers, you up jog 1, maybe the other one's here, you go through, you up jog the other, and as you get to the 4 aces in the middle, You just cut the pack, so 2 go to the top, 2 go to the bottom, and you pull out the jokers, and I leave them face up so they can see that they were there. Don't hold the deck like this, face up, turn the deck face down. You see, what I want you to do is I want you to cut anywhere you want. So they cut wherever they want, just like this. They take the top packet, so they get the top one with the 2 aces, with the 2 aces on top. You keep the packet with the 2 aces on the bottom. That stays with you. You're going to have the spectator, you say, go ahead and count through your cards real quick and count them out loud onto the table. So they count one at a time this way. What this does is it actually reverses the order of the cards, so those aces end up on the bottom. So they say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They go through all the cards. Doesn't matter at this point just because the aces are already on the bottom. But pretend that I counted through all of those, okay? So the spectator has 2 aces on the bottom, and they've counted through their cards, so they've mixed them up. You have 2 aces on the bottom already. You're in the same position. So you don't want to mix up the order of your cards by counting them down this way, but you want to count them. So you count them this way. 1, 2, 3, putting the next one underneath the card above it, just like this. 5, 6, 7, 8, etc. And you go all the way through your cards until you get to the end. Your aces are still on the bottom. Their aces are still on the bottom. And you're doing this relatively together, so there's not as much of a time gap as there is while I'm doing it for you, playing the spectator and you. So it's not quite as boring of a trick as it might appear. You then say, deal the cards out into 2 piles. So the spectator does, and this is cool because as they deal through the cards, as long as they put 1 in each pile, when they get to the very end, the last card, here's the 2 last cards, are the aces. So they've dealt the cards into the aces that way. You're going to do the same thing just like they did. So you say, look, I'll do the same thing. I'm going to deal them into 2 piles, just like this. And you just place 1 card in each pile all the way through. And when I get to my last 2 cards, they're the aces. So my aces are on top as well, just like that. So the cards were shuffled, the cards were cut, the cards were counted. They reverse the order when they counted theirs. Then they were dealt into 2 piles, each one. So now you say, check this out. And you do the magic moment. You say, turn over one of your cards. They turn over one of theirs. You say, watch. I turn over one of my cards. Turn over one of yours. And I'll turn over my last one. And we've cut and dealt to all 4 aces. All right, so that was the spectator cuts to the aces. They actually do most of the work. All you have to do is make sure that you don't disrupt the 4 aces. So maybe that's a good trick to start with and then go on to something that utilizes the 4 aces later. But it's very easy. It doesn't require any sleight of hand other than pulling the jokers out and openly cutting the deck as you do so. You just don't make a big deal out of it. You don't say, I'm going to cut the deck right here. You just nonchalantly cut the deck and then keep the cards towards yourself so they don't see the aces on the bottom. It's a very easy effect. I think you can get that with just a little bit of practice. You could probably perform it relatively quickly as long as you can remember the steps. And if you have any questions, just let me know in the comments section. I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.